Here's a question from Randall. It said, Jerry, if you could do only one thing for acoustic treatment for your room, what would it be and why?
To me, the most important thing is getting your speakers, subs, and seats in the right position. See, I didn't even mention acoustical treatment
Right.
because it's interesting. Not to jump around, but
Mhm.
in the home acoustics advanced workshop, the guys literally spend a day and a half in a room with no acoustical treatment whatsoever.
Mhm.
And we try to emphasize how important, I talked about how important it is to get everything aligned, that acoustical framework that we
Mhm.
talk about. And I really need to get these guys excited about what that moment when they get the speakers in just the right position, and all of a sudden the system is transformed, and we haven't put any fuzzy stuff on the walls at all.
Mm.
And then when we start working with acoustical treatments, our focus is to find those little problems that they may have heard and maybe not recognized,
Mhm.
and let them hear what it does. In fact, we will actually let people hear what a overdamped room is. Obviously, they've been listening to a room with no treatment. Then we'll
Mhm.
start playing with smaller amounts because, frankly, the amount of absorption that you need in a room is actually quite minimal. Small
Mm.
rooms really and truly have very low reverberation times already. So we
Mhm.
don't put
A
panels
whole
in the
lot.
same way like a big theater or auditorium would.
Mhm.
They're trying to get the echo down, get the reverberation time of 7 seconds down to
Mhm.
2 seconds.
Right.
You measure the reverberation time in a small room, and you're probably talking, maybe 400 milliseconds if it's a fairly bright room. Uh, in dedicated theaters, they
Mhm.
can have longer times. They tend to be larger rooms, and if there's nothing on the walls, you might see zero point 0.6, zero point 0.7. But that's not why we do it. We do it to manage the reflections
Gotcha. Okay.
and preserve the soundstage. And in this day of immersive audio, the soundstage wraps completely around you.
Sure. Very cool. So kind of
So
get everything right as best you can. And we even teach that with like subwoofer placement. Get your subwoofers in the best location. Then you move to things like your mini DSP or EQ and dialing that in and trying to fix some of the things that you couldn't fix because you couldn't place them in a certain position in your room.
yeah, and as I mentioned before, the subwoofer location, the response of the sub,
Hmm.
what it sounds like is different
Yeah,
every place you walk around in the
absolutely.
room.
Yeah.
So our focus is to put our seats in a location where we have the best opportunity to smooth that response without any EQ. Of
Hmm.
course, we EQ, but not to the very end.
Yeah.